Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, California Weather Watch. Today is April 5th, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop, Pacific Ocean, California. Hawaii is bottom left. Here goes our next system. We'll take a look at the impacts of this in a little bit of detail here in a moment. We'll take a look at the extended forecast as well, and we'll try to see where we're headed here as we go through the extended. We have a lot of potential energy across the Sierra Nevada here in the form of snow. If you break that down too quick, you melt it too fast here, you're going to really exacerbate some of the flooding conditions here, and it doesn't take much precipitation to do it. Just a quick warm up would cause some pretty serious flooding concerns. This is looking at Southern California. A nice warm up here coming midweek and on in through the weekend into early next week. You can see Ventura and Santa Barbara there as well. Now we're taking a look at the NAM 12Z run here. This is hot off the presses, put into motion, and by the time we get towards Thursday morning, it's going to start to impact Northern California. By the time you get towards Thursday afternoon and nighttime, you can see it sliding down the coastline, impacting the Bay Area, bringing some rainfall, some snow to the higher terrain. Nothing too crazy, but it will add to some of the snowpack out there across the Sierra Nevada as we go on towards Friday afternoon, and that's where that 12Z NAM 3KM ends. This is looking at 80-meter wind speeds here. We did relax those gradients from a couple days ago, some pretty strong northwest winds across the area. We're going to build the high pressure up across the Great Basin here Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Some gusty winds possible across the desert areas, but nothing too extreme. No extreme Santa Ana event by any means. Then looking out across Pacific, you can see the arrival of that next frontal system here as we go on in through Thursday night into Friday morning into Friday afternoon. Now here we go. We're looking at total precipitation here. We've got a couple waves coming in. There's that initial system as we go through Saturday morning, and then another one starts to arrive as we go through early week coming up. Again, biggest impact Central California through Northern California. Looking at the European, this is sea level pressure map with 6-hour precipitation overlaid, and you see that first initial system there. And then another one as we swing on in through early this week coming up. Now, the big thing everybody wants to know here is after that second system here, are we going to remain cool with the trough, or is this ridging going to be close enough to try to warm us up? That's something we're going to be watching here over the next few days. Because forecasts can change quickly at this time of year, and there's a lot of potential flooding, as I mentioned here, with all that snow water equivalent across the Sierra Nevada. So we're looking up towards 5,000 feet now. You got the European on the left. There's a GFS on the right. Put that into motion. There goes the first system here. Bit of a warm-up coming here as we go on in through the later portion of the weekend towards early next week. But then that next cold air starts to arrive off the coastline there. And hopefully, well, you know, you say that, hopefully we can remain cool across the mountains, but at this point, you're kind of kicking the can down the road. We're not melting that snowpack too much just yet, and the further you push on into April and then May, the greater potential we have for a warm-up. So it's kind of a catch-22 here. You don't want to melt it too fast, but at the same time, you need to start melting it here eventually before you start running into May, and then even on into later May, where you can warm things up quite rapidly and cause some serious flooding concerns. This is the GFS snowfall coming up here. So there's that first wave here as we go through the weekend. Early next week, we might add on to that a bit. But you can see we're not dealing with the extreme amounts that we had been dealing with earlier in the season coming up here. But there's plenty up there to be had. If you guys have been watching some of social media and the pictures coming out of some of the Sierra Nevada, those houses just seem to be covered. You know, so the signs are just buried in the intense amount of snowfall across the higher terrain. This is looking at statewide summary, 96 stations reporting. The snow water equivalent is over 5 feet average. That's 238% of the April 1st average. And you can see really northern Sierra here is about almost 200%. But as you go to central and southern Sierra, almost 3 times the normal amount of the snow water equivalent out there across some of the southern Sierra. Central Sierra at about 240% now. So there's plenty of moisture up there waiting to be melted and cause flooding issues downstream. And again, current reservoir conditions, look at Shasta up to 85% of its total capacity there. So doing well so far there. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook issued yesterday. This goes through April 18th. West Coast with the bullseye. There's 8 to 14-day precipitation outlook. So this is good that we're not melting the snowpack yet, but as I said, you're kind of kicking the can down the road, and the longer you hold all that moisture up there, the closer you get towards May, and the potential for a faster warm-up does occur. So at some point, we need to start melting this snowpack before we get into the position where we just warm up really quickly as we head on into May. So we'll watch this as we go. All we can do is wait and see what Mother Nature brings on through the extended forecast, but it doesn't look like we're going through any big melt anytime soon. That can change rapidly, though. We'll watch that as we go. And if you want a nice handheld weather station that hooks up wirelessly with your smartphone, check out the Tempest by WeatherFlow here, the weather meter. It does, crosswind, temperature, dew point. It's got a compass, relative humidity. It does pressure. A good little station there. And this is if you want the home variety. Very accurate, nice, affordable option for your home weather station. Click on the link below if you want to save 10% on that. But anyway, yeah, hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like, subscribe. Let's get the word out to as many people as we can here across the state of California and the Pacific Northwest. I'm trying to do daily videos across the nation. I won't do them every day depending on how active the weather is. But anyway, hope you guys are enjoying these. Click like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.